What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the part 2 of how to integrate Business Central with other third-party application or API. Alright, so if you're new to my channel, do click on the subscribe button, like, share. I upload videos on Business Central application, Business Central ERP, mostly on the development aspect of it. So I make videos that enables you to get familiar with the development, and also I upload videos on the functional aspect of this ERP, right? So if you are yet to watch the previous video, which was integration using authentication to barrier token, so this is the part 2 of that particular video. So without wasting much time, I'm going to get into the video. Alright, so where we stopped the last time, we stopped at let me open the development environment. So this was where we ended last video, which we messaged the data we got from the API. So alright, so I want to remove this. This is not the intention. The intention is, if there are any newer updates on this API, we want to update that. We want to make that update reflect on our customers list, and if the record on the API is equals to the record on our ERP, we just want to say there are no new data to fetch, something like that. And with this series, I'm also going to make a post request, a get request, a send request. That's the communication being back and forth. We are connecting to the API. The API should be able to connect to us. We should be able to create into that API. Also, we should be able to transfer data from the ERP system to the application programming interface, the API part, and we can also do vice versa. Alright, so the intention for the request, as you know, this was a request from one of my viewer, and the request was she wanted to digest a specific data from another endpoint and also update that data within the ERP system. Alright, so in this case, the last example, if I can drag this to the screen, the last example was we messaged what happened at the end of the day. We messaged the customer list, and we were able to get the data, like the customer name is city with nickname. Instead of this, we want to actually update the list of customers. So how do we do that? So this brings us back to the fundamental of AL, creating a newer record using AL language. So I'm just going to come here, since I know we have to create a customer, so I'm going to create a record reference customer, and I am going to say this is a record called customer. That's because I want to be updating my customer list. Also, I want to take accountability for I want to be able to generate a number series. I'm currently using version 24, that's platform 24, and if I check my app.json, I should be able to see that I am currently running 23, right? So let's see, let me be sure if I am able to use the regular number series. Let's go back to the customer extension. No, the code unit. Fetch data. Alright, so I want to also introduce the number series management. If you are familiar with my videos, I've done tons of videos that has to do with the number series, right? MGT. So this is a code unit. So the normal one we use is number series management. As you can see, this has been flagged. That is because they said code units is marked as remover, so it has been replaced by either the number series or the number series bash. So that is what I'm going to be using, the number series. Right, so this number series has quite a method, and it's not even actually complicated like the previous one, which we need to init series. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to see what else do we need. So we need the number series for customer. So I believe we can get that by receivable setup. So hold on, please. Let me close the door. All right, so I'm back. So this is a record. So this is receivable, sales receivable setup, right? So what I want to do here is, at the point of getting each record, I know for sure that I have gotten this record. I want to say .gets, because I want to be able to access whatever setup is available in the receivable setup. And the next thing to do here is I want to define my customer. I want to say .reset. So if there's any other existing record there, I want it to reset. Sorry. Alright, so I want to reset, right? Sorry, reset. Alright, so I can now say customer dot init. So I want to init a new record. And before we do that, it's also important for us to check the type of data we'll be getting from the endpoint, right? And I think we have a sample right here. So we have the ID, which is unique. We have the given name, the family name, family name, right? So I can go back here and say, for this record, I want to start the initialization of a newer record, but I also want to take in consideration the customer, the primary key, which is the number, right? So I can set this as the number series management dot get next number. So I don't even need to stress myself too much. By saying get next number, the system already know that it needs to get the next number from this number series, the number series receivable. So we want to get the next series from the receivable dot customer number, right? So this is basically it, right? So I can go ahead and I'll say the customer dot name is equals to what's the record for name. So I can pass in the name directly. I can say the customer dot name 2, so I can pass the ID there. I can say this goes to the ID. Alright, so I can say what other important thing do we have there. I believe that's basically it. The name, the ID on the customer list. But let's check what other important thing do we have on a customer card. Let's see. You have the name, you can set all this. So we can also set the email, since we are getting the email. You can say customer.email. So we can also make a complete package, making some condition that makes everything, like the setup, the general posting group, based on some level of criteria. We can also set that. So basically this will be it. So I can also set the company name. I believe on the customer card we have something called so let me check again. What's it called? Not contact name. Just need to know what it's called. can also pass in the address. I believe that is it. So let's just do that. I don't want to take too much. Do we have the phone number? No. So basically, I will just work with this data. So this is me inserting this data. So before now, I also want to check, since I know that the only way for me to confirm that this doesn't exist before is by me checking the ID. So I believe the ID is very unique from the API endpoint. So I also need to reference customer before now. I can say if before then I can say customer dot set range. So I want to set range between the name 2 to check if the ID has existed before, right? So I want to set this range. Then I want to now say if not customer dot find first, then begin end. So I want it to create a new record if it doesn't exist, right, which is this that we did. So I can say customer dot insert. So I can say if dot insert equals true, then I can just go ahead and say right. Else I can just message that customer list is up to date, right? So this is basically what we just did. So I just reference the customer record, check if it existed. If not, I want to insert. Else I want to display the customer list is up to date. So the very next video we are going to work with the post, request, the back and forth. This is not a complex, this is very basic, and there should be a lot of add-ins to this. There are more complexity to this also. I'm just making a basic example, and then we can expand on that. And that is because I also should release this video as soon as I can, and I do not really have that time. So I think this is pretty much it. Let's see how it works at the other hand, or the other side of it. Let's see. So I'm just going to run. Right, so basically we didn't do much. We only reference a record and just confirm that this doesn't exist before, so that we can insert the new record that is available at the other hand. So I think we can yeah. So you'd see that what to do are not really much anymore. It's just for you to work with the data that you have currently, and know how to manipulate the data at this end. So the same button, customer list, I clicked on it, and I should be able to say customer. Oh, so I didn't pass a placeholder. As you can notice, you see that we already created a customer called city automatically, right? So I didn't pass a value to the placeholder. That is why we have the %1. So if I open this, you see that it's just the basic information we passed through to it. That's the email, the name, and if we are able to check the name too, would see that we have a unique ID. So I'm just going to, so that's basically it. You see, we can populate more and create an automation based on the category of customer coming. We are able to route them to the business or the customer posting group. So I leave all this other technicality to you, and you can also drop a message if you have any other difficulties working with this. So if I go back to the list, I can also click back on the customer list, so I should be able to see that, right, customer list is up to date, and you see the condition we already put in place is working fine. So I hope this video is informative. I hope at least you can do one or two things with this video. I advise you follow up with my video exactly the way I've done it, and then you can expand from there. So this is pretty much it for this video. The next, we are going to be working on also replicating all these records currently here on the system to also that's the endpoint API. So we are going to transfer all the data here into the other API. And at the end of the day, once we are familiar with the posting, the get record, we'll be able to automate all this process without having to come and click on this button. Thank you for watching. Do consider subscribing if you have not, and share this video. Thank you so much.